Hello, I'm Joan Gregerson, and I'm here today with an interview as part of our climate justice series. I'm speaking with Malika Yates, and you're really going to enjoy this interview hearing from Malika's perspective. Malika serves as Elite Miss Delaware Earth. She's the lead of the Newark, Delaware Climate Reality Chapter. She's the founder of her own nonprofit, Global Ripple Effect Project, Inc. The idea of these climate justice interviews is to give the perspective of different people and people of color, to bring their voices to the forefront, to share their personal experience and their understanding and insights about how all these different things are connected that we're seeing right now with the pandemic and the racial reckoning and what's happening with the election and climate change and all these different kind of justice issues. And so with that, I first want to just say hello, Malika, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
All right, really this is about finding your voice. And all of us start as little kids thinking the adults have it together. And then we have these realizations at different points where we identify things and don't know if it's our job to actually try and change things or if anybody can. And so that's what we're talking about today. So Malika, do you want to just start by telling us about yourself as a kid and some of those perspectives, and then when you first started seeing these inequities in your community?
Yes, when I was younger, I remember after my dad passed away, my mom and I bonded over her showing me our Cherokee Indian ways. I learned how to take care of the land, how to garden, how to plant not just trees, but spices that we used in the kitchen, as well as fruits and vegetables. And then once they grow, we're able to take them inside, wash them off, cook them, and just eat them. And so it really brought it full circle to me. And I feel like it made me appreciate it that much more. And I'll never forget when my grandmother would cut the apples up, making her delicious apple pie. And she would let me place them in the pan. And then she would add the cinnamon and like the secret spice that I still to this day don't really know what it is. But it would just smell so good. And I remember like if I ate all of my dinner, I was allowed to have a piece of pie. So no matter what it was, I knew that I was going to eat all of my dinner so I can get that piece of pie that I helped make. And those are just like memories I will cherish for the rest of my life. And I hope to continue them when I have children one day. And growing up in the suburbs, then having my school become full and having to go to an inner city school, it was night and day. I went from being able to take care of land and living in a really safe, healthy environment where there wasn't pollution on the ground. We didn't have a lot of litter. We were safe. Everything was fine. I didn't even know there was a difference in races because my mom never taught me that. So I thought we were all one race, the human race. And then having to go to an inner city school and there was like nothing but litter on the ground. Sometimes we didn't have access to clean drinking water. My school was not too far from a plant. So now as a result, present day, combined with everything that I endured living in this underserved community, I now have asthma and respiratory issues. And I am afraid during this pandemic, but I'm still out there on the front lines helping underserved communities and people that are homeless because I know firsthand that these are the ones that are impacted first and most. And these are the communities that need our help. Having living in those communities, I understand the hardships that people in these communities go through on a daily basis.
And so one of the first things that you did was this idea of going back to your school and to some of those schools to talk about this eco-education. You just lived eco-education, where you were brought up and how you were brought up, and then to show up in this other community where the kids didn't have that kind of awareness or empowerment either. So that was one of your first things, was going and trying to get that happening. So tell us how that went, and then maybe how that kind of led to this Miss Earth thing as well.
So After I graduated high school, freshman year in college, I wanted to go with my program into my school that I had formerly went to. And they were like, you graduated. Why would you want to come back? And I'm like, because this program is important. Like I learned at a young age and it really helped shape who I am as a person today. And I just want to give children that opportunity to grow and become more than any statistic. And I just was like, all right, thank you anyway. And I didn't know what to do. And then I saw the Miss Earth USA organization, they had a posting on social media. And I was like, oh, I want to do this, but I know this year isn't the right year for me. And I hadn't ever had a state title before, so I didn't know what that entailed. And the following year, I applied, I was accepted, I received my appointed title. So I was really excited about that. And right away, I was like, this is my platform, eco education. And I actually visit the inner city school that I attended. I reached out, I was like, I want to take you guys on an eco education field trip and teach you my program. Right away, they were like, yes. Our sponsor did drop out at the last minute because they thought I was taking a suburban school and not an inner city school. And right away, I sold my belongings to cover the fees. And I did get some help from different organizations with the food. And the kids, they had an amazing time. I had all eco-friendly products. So there was vegan and vegetarian options. And every utensil was made out of bamboo, including the napkins. So that was like super exciting. And we went to the Earth exhibit. So we talked about our planet and how we can reduce our waste, recycle, how to go about doing that, and just all around living a sustainable lifestyle. And the kids had so much fun. They were super smart. Like it was just such a great time. It really warmed my heart to be able to share this moment with them, knowing where they are right now because I was there when I was their age.
So then you worked on some legislation to promote eco education. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. I am the chapter chair for the Newark, Delaware Climate Reality chapter. And once we heard that we were no longer going to be in the Paris Agreement, they reached out to me right away and they were like, can you get this passed on the local level in your state? I said yes. I didn't really know how to go about doing that. So I asked for a little bit of guidance, but right away I was like, yes, but how do I do this? And so they reached out, they were like, here's your one pager, gave me some talking points. I made it my own. I reached out to my Newcastle County president, Karen Hartley Nagel, and right away she was like, come in, let's talk more about this face to face. We did. She went and she called her counsel to counsel, which is their attorney. She was like, can you tailor this for our state? He did. At the very next meeting, everyone gave me yes. And so we signed on the local level. I was really excited and proud to see that our local elected officials actually care about our environment, our community, our state, and our country. So I was so happy and so proud to see that. Afterwards, I was like, with this one win, I was like motivated to create a environmental law that would provide students in every community with a right to receive equal eco education. And so that is the law that I have created. I've just spoke to all of my elected officials and everyone's 100% on board. And I'm just really excited to see what happens.
So then how did that lead to the creation of starting your own nonprofit?
So everyone saw what I did last year with my platform, both on the local and state level, like as far as the officials here are concerned. And they were like, if you created a nonprofit, we can support you and help you on all of your initiatives. And I was like, okay, but I didn't really know how to go about doing that. And felt a little overwhelmed. However, a pandemic came and then I had nothing but time. And all of the nonprofit organizations that I once was collaborating with were now closed due to the pandemic. And so volunteering had ceased and I still wanted to get out. While I knew there was a pandemic outside, there were still people outside that are homeless that need us and that rely on us. I said, let me just go ahead and create this nonprofit now so I can help the people that need help. And that's exactly what I did. And then I was like, oh, I don't have anyone to write grants. I was really nervous. But again, I remembered I was told if I started my nonprofit that they would help me. So I did. I applied for a grant, and my Newcastle County president, Karen Hartley Nagel, she right away approved the grant and she gave me my first grant. So excited and so happy about that. And she's just helped me with all of my initiatives. I reach out to other council members and they're always eager to help too. I just feel so blessed to have representatives here that care as much as I do about our state and our country.
I remember, Malika, when you came to we did the action plan retreat, that was the first weekend in May of this same year, that you're like, I want to start an environmental nonprofit. And here it is. You've already gotten yours going, already have grants coming in and are pivoting. And I think that you're on your way to pick up 2,000 reusable masks for your COVID kit. That's a pretty cool thing to have been able to watch firsthand, to see how you're really taking off with this. What would be your recommendation for let's say young women of color that see this stuff and want to make an impact?
Never give up. Remember, you can be the change you want to see. And even though I received a lot of no's, I always had hope because I knew that I was able to get out of that situation. And in doing so, I am able to empower others and teach them how to do the same thing. So if you have this, if this is your purpose, if this is your mission, just embrace it and never give up hope because it will all work out in the end. All you have to do is try hard and believe in yourself.
All right. Those are excellent words to live by and to end our interview with. All right. Thank you so much, Malika, for taking time to talk about your story. And it's really fun to have been able to see this unfold right in front of our very eyes during the 90 days and the couple months ahead of time, and can't wait to see what's next for you. So thank you again.
Thank you so much. And remember, everyone, start a team and get Joan's action workbook.
Thank you. Yeah, I second that. All right. Thanks, Malika. Have a great day. Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you. Bye.